Tokyo George, aka Tokyo, one half of your duo.
Zero half Surge.
With the center.
Maniacs.
All right. So I just want to have a disclaimer. We understand that this review is very late, but we did have a previous review, but because due to technical performances,
we lost it.
Yeah. So no, it's not that we lost it. I just couldn't export the file because the file was too large. So we're making a shorter, compact one.
Yeah. So now we're going to be reviewing the whole season of Daredevil, Born Again.
Oh yeah.
In June.
Oh yeah. Damn. I didn't even say what it was.
I said no. Does that matter? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So you start first with our main characters.
All right. So just an overview of Daredevil Born Again. This takes place after season 3 of the Netflix universe. This continues the adventures of Matt Murdock, and in this series, he basically has to find himself again as Daredevil.
Not just Daredevil.
Yeah, and Matt Murdock. Matt Murdock.
Loss.
Right, and yeah, he goes through some very hard challenges that basically shakes up his faith as Daredevil, and this series shows him trying to come back to that. So, without further ado, Sergio, take it off.
All right. First, we're going over the first main characters of the whole series, of the whole season. First, it's of course Matt Murdock.
Yep.
Of course, he's the main character.
Yep. Charlie Cox kills it.
Of course, every time. I almost saw him last month. Unfortunately, he canceled, so we couldn't see him at Fan Expo in Philadelphia.
Damn.
Yeah. So, okay, second character would be Winston Fisk. Kingpin.
Winston? Like Winston Churchill?
Oh, my. I said that?
Yes.
My God.
Winston Fisk.
Well, I'm sorry.
Big Daddy Fisk. You know what I'm saying?
So, and actually, it's implied heavily that he actually lost a lot of weight.
Yeah. You can't physically be the size of Kingpin because he'll have a heart attack.
Yeah, exactly. And the third main character, in our opinion,
yes,
Vanessa.
Vanessa has come a long way.
True.
I'll argue she may be even worse than Kingpin.
Oh, she orchestrated a lot of what happened in the season and what happened to certain characters. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yes. So, but basically, yeah. So basically, Matt Murdock, you know what I'm saying? He, you know, for anybody who's watched this review of the first episodes, you know that episode 1 came in with the bang and everything like that. They wasted no time. Yes, Foggy is dead. Finito.
Worst Max ever.
Yeah.
And to make it worse, during the entire fight scene of Daredevil versus Bullseye, we hear Foggy's heartbeat.
Honestly, that scene is so, like, to this day, like, I'm just like, I'm still.
It was like back in February.
I'll just say, like, even though it's recent, that is literally one of the best openings to a TV show ever.
It went hard fast.
It went hard fast. Pause. But yeah, it did, because it's just like, the fact of the matter is you know, it starts off, everything is all like, it seems like it's good to normal and everything like that. Matt's hanging out with Foggy and Karen and everything. He's back at Josie's bar.
The trio are back.
Yeah.
They show us pictures saying, oh, the trio will be back again, better than ever, more mature, more
exactly.
experience.
Like you're thinking, all right, you know, hopeful beginnings and everything like that.
They have new adventures.
They just turn you upside down and everything like that.
We see Matt almost kill Bullseye. He threw him off a building. The fact Bullseye...
No, he almost killed him. He killed him, but Bullseye has something inside his body, because at the end of season 3, we saw that Bullseye was getting his back fixed.
So that's what saved him.
That's what saved him, or else he would have been dead. Matt, and that's the thing. That's what broke Matt completely.
He first of all, I think 2 things broke him. The fact that he lost Foggy, and that he almost crossed the line he would never want to cross. You know.
Why do you keep on saying almost? He crossed the line. That's
the fact that he died means he didn't cross it. He wanted to cross it. He deep did.
Yeah, on a technicality, but really, it was the action that Matt did. So he crossed it. So he broke his thing. So he broke his no killing rule, and that broke him. So now we basically we see, you know, Matt basically not becoming Daredevil for a whole year.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's what I love about some of these movies and shows. They do time skips. Like, remember Endgame? Dude, I remember
5 years. 5 years.
Dude, I remember the whole movie theater gasping. What? Oh my God.
Yeah, no, because
and then it's 1 year time skip saying, oh no,
because they you know, after Foggy died, after basically breaking his rule, you know, something that he always stood firm on, like, I'm never doing it. He was always at loggerheads with Punisher about it, but now something really drastic happened to him, and he's just like, nah, I broke it, you know?
Yeah, okay, now we get to supporting characters, you know. And
if we get, because, you know, they do talk about, they do go more in depth about the case that Foggy was doing and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I do believe that in season 2 we might get flashbacks of Foggy, conversing with that dude that that he was defending and stuff.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah. Again, we saw side characters of course Punisher again.
Yeah, and with the Punisher, right? Like John Bernthal almost didn't come back.
Because
Did some just?
oh, he's right, sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but the John Bernthal almost didn't come back because as you know, this show has gone through so many rewrites and everything like that.
Yeah, this was in season 4, like back in 2019. That never happened either.
Yeah. And John Bernthal was like, "Oh my God, the original script sucks, or whatever." So
Yeah,
the new writers.
There's a whole video on Bullets and Blockbuster that explains all what happened in season.
Oh, I gotta watch them.
Yeah, it is like wow, they were re-scrubbed. The writer's strike of 2022, 23 actually saved the show. Let me tell you right now, no one of like what they came up with.
Yeah, because they were trying to make this a boring drama, whatever. And I don't know what they were going to do with the Punisher's character, but it was enough for John Bernthal to be like, "Nah, I'm not doing that, whatever."
Yeah, even Charlie Cox and the actor who played Kingpin said this is really bad. They said themselves this is not going to be good.
Yeah, so the good thing the writers came in and they switched it up, whatever, because
again, Kevin Feige he fired those writers on the original draft.
Yeah.
Hired new ones, made them read like 30 years worth of Daredevil comics.
Yeah, like you could now I will say this, like with certain characters like Muse or whatever, Muse was great. Muse was great and everything like that.
What if I saw like a serial killer in like Marvel?
Yeah, like it felt like watching an episode of Criminal Minds. Like when it got to Muse and everything like that, that's when the show became real scary because it was just like, now we're delving into like sick things. Like it's not even just Matt just stopping corruption. Like we're going into a territory where he's dealing with somebody with huge mental issue outside from Bullseye, but like we're dealing with somebody that just does really sick things.
Yeah, and I hate things too. Unfortunately, they did the common MCU thing and got rid of him way too soon.
But either way, Muse was really good. It sucked that he died. I wanted to know more about him.
I mean, he died by what was his name? Matt Murdock's girlfriend of the season.
Oh yeah, Heather.
Also, it's the Fisk's couple counselor because again, Vanessa and Kingpin, they were going through a
which I really like though because once again it showed like a human side.
Yeah, they're not just criminals and raiders. They are actually people who are going through their own issue.
Exactly. As twisted as they are, it was kind of cool to see them going through relationship problems, and you could actually see both sides. As twisted as it is, like you understood Vanessa, why she got mad at Kingpin because he just up and left after he got shot by Echo. If you haven't seen Echo, go watch that. But he got shot in the eye.
No, he was shot in Hawkeye by Echo.
Oh yeah, sorry. In the show Hawkeye, Echo shoots him in the eye and everything, and he had to go away and rehabilitate. And Vanessa was basically holding the fort down.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
She grew into a role of basically Kingpin.
Queen.
Oh, I like Queen.
But the thing is, Wilson Fisk just up and left without even telling her. So and then on top of that, she also got a new man.
Oh, Adam.
Much to the chagrin of Wilson Fisk.
No, blame Adam because he didn't know that.
He knew it all. I don't think.
Dude, if you knew that was Kingpin's wife,
you wouldn't even.
No, I'm saying hello, ma'am, goodbye, ma'am.
Yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and with Kingpin, I can understand why. Well, maybe the whole not telling your wife thing, but I understand that he had to basically just find himself and rehabilitate himself and whatnot. But you still owe your wife an explanation.
Exactly, and that goes in next time when he comes back. He runs for mayor of New York City, which is cool.
In the comic books, he actually does do that.
I know, and then he gets out like after a couple of months, right? Or weeks even.
I think so.
And you see him. First of all, he tries something. He really tries to be straight down to make New York.
And I love that because this series showed the two sides of the same coin. You see Matt trying to not be Daredevil, and you see Kingpin not trying to be Kingpin.
But that's who they are.
Yeah, that's who they are. And as the show goes on, you start to see them like, we gotta be who we are.
Exactly. Kingpin was tired of bureaucracy. For the first 100 days, he had to waste time listening to kids sing off key.
Yeah, because it's not just getting in power. Because he thought that okay, I'm gonna be in power and do whatever I want. Like no, you gotta go through regulation. Yeah, you gotta
oversight. So what does he do? He does what he does best. He corrupts the system for himself.
Yeah, always bends the rule to his ways.
And then he blackmails the commissioner.
Yeah.
And eventually, we'll get that later. Blackmails commissioner. He cuts corners. He blackmails the rich to help him out.
He strong arms everybody.
Meanwhile, Vanessa is holding down the fort in a criminal enterprise.
Yeah, like he's still doing criminal stuff, but he's trying, like he's doing it by walking a very thin line.
Yeah, so by the end though, he actually crosses the line.
Yeah,
because why Foggy died exactly?
Yeah, of course.
So the reason Foggy dies is because he found a script, like a piece of paper saying, a set of land in New York City isn't technically part of New York City. It's not part of the country. It's a no man's land.
Mm-hmm.
And Fisk, both of them, the Fisk, Vanessa and Kingpin, want to use that land to have complete authority over it.
Right. And
basically
that's what,
no laws.
And that's what Foggy was investigating, and that's what got him killed.
Yeah, because he was about to reveal it. So once you reveal that law, the government's gonna come in there and say, no, we got this our land now officially. No one can enter. It's no man's land.
And I just want to say, Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, he once again, like, he needs an Emmy, yo. Like,
he drives the show.
Like, what are we doing? Like, bro, give this dude an Emmy, right?
The entire time we were waiting to freak out, to get pissed off, and just crush people's heads.
Like the only ever since Vincent D'Onofrio played Kingpin, he's the only person I could see play Kingpin.
I mean,
like live action wise.
I mean, who's that? Ben Affleck. He died. He was good for what he
did. Good for what he did, but live action. Well, really, to be honest, I do like the animated incarnation of Kingpin too. But my favorite incarnation is Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
And also, let's talk about White Tiger.
Oh, R.I.P. to the actor. He unfortunately died.
Kamar de los Reyes.
Yeah, according to the directors, there were days he was really bad, but he still gave all he had.
Yeah, the dude died from cancer, so you know what I'm saying. And it kind of reminded me of Chadwick Boseman. You know what I'm saying, where he basically kept his illness.
He never yielded.
Yeah, never did. He kept the illness from the rest of the world.
I hope he knew how big he was going to be. He was a White Tiger. That was a big role. He was only.
He was great, and it was so heartbreaking because in the show, White Tiger actually ends up getting killed. So it's kind of like a ironic send off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think they planned that way, but unfortunately.
Yeah, no, because in the comic books, I think he does die. And then his niece takes over.
Yeah,
who they do feature, and I don't know the actress name, but she was really good in it. Because she was basically saying like, "Hey man, my uncle was trying to help this city, and you guys aren't trying to do anything to find who his killers are.
Yeah.
By the way, his killers are the Punisher copycats.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Just make this on the page. Fuck those guys, okay?
Yeah.
Because even the creator of the Punisher comics saying no, they don't stand for the Punisher does. The Punisher actually.
The Punisher actually addresses that.
There's a whole scene in the final episode. He says, "Fuck you, Aaron. Yes, sir. I do what I do because I know I'm going to do it."
Yeah.
I don't agree with him because the Punisher is an asshole, but they're even bigger assholes.
But at least with the Punisher, he has a code. He doesn't just go out and kill anybody. These guys are literally killing anybody.
Yeah.
And they're using the Punisher's name as validation for what they do. And going back to White Tiger, like that whole scene where, I mean, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the White Tiger. He's fighting these two guys who happen to be corrupt cops. You know what I'm saying? In the show, they revealed that they were corrupt cops, but you wouldn't know that because they didn't wear the damn badge.
Yeah, and they're just beating up an informant.
Yeah, they were beating up an informant, whatever. And White Tiger, just being the good person he is trying to help that dude
outside of his uniform now.
Yeah, outside of his uniform too, and that's another thing I like, because I think that's another thing too, is showing that. Even Matt too, even without being Daredevil, he showed that he could still do good.
Yeah, one of my favorite episodes of the season was the bank heist.
Yeah, like exactly the bank heist. He didn't wear his costume, but he was basically still doing Daredevil things. And Kamar de los Reyes as White Tiger, he wasn't wearing the costume, but he was still being heroic, whatever. And then you see the whole courtroom drama unfold about how they're trying to prove this dude's innocence and how he didn't kill those cops intentionally, whatever. Well, actually, no, he killed one of them. He beat up one, and the other guy he didn't even kill him. The other guy just slipped and got hit by a train. Yeah. But of course, they tried to pin it on him.
Of course.
And you see like just the drama unfold and everything. And that's another thing too. The courtroom drama, even though this show is the less actiony of the rest, they do have very riveting drama.
Oh, I'm sure they'll pick that up next season.
Yeah, no, next season's about to be crazy.
Because we'll get to our thoughts about it in the bed, right?
Yeah.
But right now, okay. So I would say also too, let's not forget who do you guys talk about?
Let's see. So we said Muse. Oh, Bullseye.
Yeah, Bullseye. First off, he was there in the first episode killing Foggy.
One of the best MCU villains ever.
Wait, is he even called Bullseye yet or no? He just called Poindexter.
No, they call him Poindexter, but
he'll get Bullseye.
Yeah, I think the public, you know, they're gonna name him Bullseye.
Eventually,
yeah. But no, Bullseye. Oh my, like that dude is scary. That dude is. Every time he comes up on screen, I always like how like they show like his worldview, or like this time it's like blue. Like, you know, and then they have that iconic buzzing sound and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like, just to show you like his mind and how fractured he is. And
for right now, we found out who hired Bullseye to kill Foggy.
It was Vanessa.
Again, she's one of the main characters of the season.
We knew it was gonna be. We knew in the beginning of the first episode when Foggy got hit, like it was a
Fisk.
No, we knew that it was a hit. We just wanted to know who was behind it.
And it was Vanessa.
Yeah, it was Vanessa. You know what I'm saying? And then she tried to eliminate this dude. You know, when he got to prison. To keep him to keep him quiet, basically. Yeah, but you know.
And what does he do? He escapes with a toothpick in his mouth or something like that, right?
Yeah. Well, before that, like to keep him quiet, just you know. But in other words, that's just to unalive somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Matt visits him in prison. You know what I'm saying? And Matt's emotions get the better of him, and that inadvertently.
I mean, you can't blame him, honestly.
I get it, and I know people were trying to debate this, like, oh, like he was trying. I actually thought he was trying to help Bullseye at first, but I was like, no, he wasn't. Like his emotions got the best of him, and that's what led Bullseye to escape. You know?
Yeah. Again, here's into so it all leads to the climax. That wasn't really a climax. It leads to Kingpin declaring martial law on everyone. He sabotaged the own.
It's kind of crazy, like for a mayor, he has all this much power. Like
exactly. But I don't know who's being in charge of them. Are dead or they left the city, or blackmailed into helping them. Yeah. So right now,
Daredevil should never save him. That's another thing. Daredevil saved this man's life multiple times, but again in this series, when Bullseye gets his revenge, when he finds out that Vanessa has him like, you know, attempted to get killed.
I think so,
yeah. Yeah, but yeah, basically when Bullseye finds out that that Vanessa is trying to tie up loose ends, he goes and gets his revenge, and Matt, being the hero that he is, ends up saving Fisk.
Again.
You know? And because of that, martial law is declared.
Yeah, and now Matt's throwing his own army to fight King's army. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, it helps the channel. Right. All right.